lot of Indian troops on our border. That's concerning. Alright, we're gonna write out a post and deploy. Yeah, the corruption's really bad, Viking. We have a corruption of 8, so it is just overwhelming. It's really integrated into our culture and our economy. I was reading about it earlier. We're going to have a reform and go democracy, but then there's something I want to roleplay out. So we're not going to be pure democracy.
I don't care. Just do LARP. LARP.
Okay.
Hello there.
Boom. Hello.
Yes. Hello.
This is an economic minister for the Myanmar government.
Yes. How may we help?
I'm sitting here at the behest of Thon Shui. He apologizes for not being able to come here personally, as he is still dealing with the constitutional revisions in negotiations with the Democratic Front in Myanmar. We are working on reforming our government, as you well know, and we have cracked down heavily on the child soldier issue, as I'm sure you also are aware. Your intelligence has made you aware of these issues. But my government is growing increasingly unable to do many of the reforms we want to do to the economics of our country. The interest rates that we have to pay on the foreign debt, which is gouging our country currently, is becoming debilitating and makes reform become much less possible for my government. We wish to seek the possibility of a major bailout from the US government under the assumption that we are continuing to make reforms and have cracked down heavily on many of the issues you, along with the EU, have seen with our country.
That can be arranged.
Wonderful. We're happy to write out the terms and would, of course, open ourselves up to American investors more so than other regions if you'd be willing to cooperate with us.
Of course.
That is good to hear. In that case, we will write up the paperwork right now and send it over.
Alright.
Wonderful.
Your share should have been paid.
This is huge.
It's only 30 billion.
We
Not
are...
really a lot.
Sorry?
No, I'm just saying it's not really a lot that we paid.
It helps. It did bring our interest rate down by 8%, which is absolutely massive. American credit and capital flow is huge to dealing with this crisis in our country. So we thank you for being willing to do that.
Of course, the Human Rights Fund will continue to flow into Myanmar and other countries that needs it.
We are committed to, although keeping a very strong presence, of course, of the Ted Madao government, but with necessary reforms to encourage capital growth here in Myanmar. So we thank you for it.
No problem.
Wonderful. Secure the barrel. I'm stunned that you can roll up to the administration, take a test, and get your driver's license. No lessons in practice driving lessons before. You had to do a written test, which I did like 2 weeks ago, or 2 or 3 weeks ago, where you have to pass a bunch of questions, and then you have to do a vision test, which I did, and then you need a scheduled driving test. The issues that are basically the part of our state government, driving stuff is done at a state level, not a federal one, and it's all based on the state, and ours is not well funded. So there's only a couple of testers. There's only one tester active at any location at one time. So I had to literally reserve my driving test almost 2 months in advance to take it. And if I'd failed it, I'd have to wait probably another 2 months to take it again. So bureaucracy at work. Hello there.
Are you planning on launching the UN meeting at any point soon?
How long are we into the game? We usually do it right after 9/11 hits, typically, so which will be any day now.
Okay.
Did Myanmar, not Myanmar, 9/11 didn't hit yet, did it?
I haven't seen the event for it, but...
Yeah, as soon as 9/11 hits is usually when we do our first UN meeting.
Okay. Because Russia and the Philippines need to join back in, and I didn't want to do.
Yeah, no, 9/11 should hit literally any day. So if it goes it's a random chance I think every day after a certain time period, so it might just not fire. So we'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
Well, we are having crashing right now, so you know what? Let's just say that 9/11 happened on 9/11, and we'll just do the rehost now. We'll get the UN meeting going.
Okay. I will.
So get everyone up into the UN channel, and then let's get the rehost.
Where?
United States. All right, we'll come back to him. We call upon the speaker from Indonesia.
Hello everyone. Just wanted to announce that the plan that my administration had for Indonesia has ended with great success. We have expanded the office sectors of Jakarta, and we are moving to closer cooperation with the ASEAN countries, and that's basically it. Alright.
Thank you. The UN calls upon the speaker from Afghanistan. Beautiful Alexander the Great.
Hello,
Ooh.
fellow UN and United Nations. The Afghanistan government is now gratefully thanking everyone who helped out in the Civil War, and is now announcing that the Civil War is finally over and that terrorism will be eradicated from anywhere in sight. No terrorist is safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, General Secretary. Dear colleagues, China is presenting an ever-growing threat, especially now with the leadership change. Mr. Zeman not in power anymore. We are watching with worried eyes towards the rising dragon, as many people would call him. Vietnam will defend its interests, especially in the spot list. Vietnam will not bow to Chinese domination in the Asian region, and Vietnam will work together closely with its allies, such as the newly quote-unquote Soviet Union, to deter China, and we will build this relationship with Russia to also strengthen our armed forces and to further cooperate economic and military cooperation between our states. I have to say that we are quite disappointed by the Asian meeting. Many countries have been how should I say that? They have been very well not receiving the idea of military cooperation between our countries to counter China, and we found this quite disappointing, and this might force us to look elsewhere for this. However, we will still be committed to the economical values and that to the economical values that Asian presents. Thanks for letting me speak.
Thank you. The UN calls upon the speaker from Russia.
Hello, my fellow presidents and prime ministers of the world. The last year has been a hard one for our great nation, well, we see that it may be worrying that the rise of communism is back in Russia, but we implore that our nation is a friendly one. We have had many great talks with the United States to create a bond between the East and West. A world no longer divided, you could say. We implore any nation who happens to require the help of the Russias or of any kind to please seek help in Moscow. Thank you.
Thank you. The UN calls upon the speaker from China.
Yes, yes, greetings. We would like to officially announce that China will be soon, thanks to our extracting of the parcel and now the Spratly Islands, we would like to announce that we will be offering oil to Asia. We would also offer them to join the Shanghai Pact, which is a pact that has China regularly invest in. We would also like to discredit the Vietnam claims that we're trying to use brute force when Malaysia themselves agreed to sell or at least make a deal with us given the Spratly Islands that they had to China. We'd like to make this clear that China is open for business. We are open to sell our oil to such nations. Thank you.
Thank you. The UN calls upon the speaker from the United States.
Good evening, gentlemen of the United Nations. Today we would like to announce the formal recognition and the formation of the United Nations peacekeeping forces, led by Russia, China, and United States, as well as receiving cooperations and supports from countries such as India and South Korea, Japan, and of course our Asian partners. Aside from that, we will also like to announce that sorry, give me a second, please. We are also promoting, starting from now, the anti-terrorist war, as we have been receiving much reports within the African continent of human rights abuses and problem caused alongside with the terrorist that has been running rampage within Congo and such as Somalia. We will also be formally announcing to the United General Assembly that the United States would like to bring to the United Nations Security Council that we are nominating India as one of the United Nations Security Council members.
Yep. You can call upon the speaker from Thailand.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Our beautiful kingdom of Thailand has reached economic highs in the recent months. Through the more active rule of me, King Bhumibol Adulyadej, I have been able to improve the economic strength of our glorious country and bring unprecedented prosperity to the country. And my loyal nation has benefited from this. You support my intervention in the weak government of the Prime Minister and wish for further action. You want to preserve the tradition of our glorious kingdom, and that is what we will do. Thailand will awaken with the strength of the king and the will of the people. Long live Thailand. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we call upon the speaker from Iran.
I'd like to bring to your attention the known terrorist as Saddam Hussein. He has assassinated the leaders of Syria and Lebanon, and his regional meddling shall be stopped. Iran takes these extreme actions seriously and would like to call the world leaders to support a potential Iranian intervention within the nation to free the Shia Muslims being prosecuted under Saddam's tyrannical rule. We warn any nation to intervene with this regional dispute, and we bid you a farewell. Thank you.
Thank you. We are going to go ahead and in speeches now, so the permanent members of the Security Council will move down to that channel. Everyone else is welcome to go back into the game, and we are going to get started here in just a moment. Thank you all for coming.